Hey, happy Monday everyone. Welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. And I go live every Monday and Friday for free tarot readings. Do be sure to join the Seer Circle. If you're watching this replay, do join us. Just come along, bring your questions and receive a free reading. Hey to everyone in the chat, I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for being here, for bringing your energy. For anyone new here, and a reminder for those returning, if you would like a free reading, click the link in the pinned comment. You'll be added to a list, and just wait for your name to be called. Please hold your questions until your name is called. And if there's no response when I do call your name, I do have to skip just to keep things moving. A reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tuning into you and your situation and anyone else involved, to help you bring you some clarity, to bring you some insight. And so please do provide as much context as possible. If you're asking about another person, do share what this person means to you, any history, obviously whatever you feel comfortable with, but it allows me to give you a meaningful reading. But let's get into it. Oh, and I don't do yes, no questions or timeline as well. But I'm just going to head over and grab the list. Hey Ivo, hey Country, Samreen, Divine Timing, Rithika, Venny, Kitty Cat Meow, Nat Nat, Tia B, lovely to see you all, and B. Let me head over and grab the list. So Rithika, you are on the list now, so I'm glad that you were able to submit. I know you said you were having a little bit of difficulty. And first up, we have Judite. I'm not sure if Judite's here, but they are number 1 on the list. If you are here, Judite, please do go ahead and post your question. Samreen, you are number 2 on the list. If you want to go ahead and post as well, Samreen, because I don't think I have seen Judite here. And just a reminder, hold your questions until your name is called. And I update the list regularly. So just watch the chat for the list and see where you are in the queue. And I'm using the Gypsy Fair Tarot deck today. And last thing, there's so many reminders, that the chat's a little bit delayed to me. So if you have posted and I'm not responding, it's not that it hasn't shown, it just may have not come through to me. There's always a bit of a delay for some reason. So, Samreen, if you are here, please go ahead, post your question. I don't think Judite's here, so we'll move on. Samreen and then Venny. If you both want to go ahead and post your question. Thank you, Samreen. So Samreen asks, I will be remotely working from... Oh, hey Judite, you're here. I'll read for you after Samreen. So I will be remotely working for 1 month. You think my ex will miss my presence. Something inside of him will move for me. Okay, so wondering if this distance, what reaction will this bring up in him? Let's have a look at the energy surrounding this. So Spirit, please tell us what kind of impact Judite's absence will have on her ex. Nine of Wands. There is a kind of waiting energy, Samreen, in this card. If you see this person, you know, particularly in this deck, They're standing, they're looking out on the horizon even. And there's an air of contemplation to me, so I think the impact it will have is, I think, thinking about you and thinking about the future. Wands to me is often about ambitions, looking to the future and planning for that. The Nine of Wands as well is it denotes, it talks about the struggles that you have been through. This relationship, I think, like Nine of Wands is when you've been through somewhat of a battle, but you've continued to fight on. And I still feel like that there's another chapter to this story, Samreen, okay? There's some unfinished business here. And I think they feel that too. They understand that. So I feel like it could be a good thing. This feels like a positive energy. It feels like this space will almost create a vacuum for something new to come in, some kind of change. And it will give them time to contemplate and think about what they want. And there is a weariness and there is a struggle that maybe you feel too, that with this relationship, that you have been through battles and you've been through struggles. But yet there's still some unfinished business. There's still some gas left in the tank to revisit this connection. It still doesn't feel like that there's closure on this, on their side. This is definitely their energy. So I hope that resonated, Samreen. I think this space could be good, okay? That's not how I interpret it. Looking for another opportunity, Samreen. Just go back and re-listen to the reading and take it in. Sometimes it's helpful to re-watch the reading and pick up on what resonates. I think that's your insecurities coming through there. Go into that line of thinking, looking for other opportunities. That's not how I interpreted it. So Judite, my love, I'll read for you, and then Veni after Judite. So Judite asks, hi, what's the energy in the professional relationship between my manager and I? Thanks so much, your manager, Luke. So is this the same manager where, if I'm remembering right, Judite, there could be some kind of, I remember, was it that we got the 10 of Wands where it was like that they were wanting to help you? Is it that same person? Just confirm. Oh, that one's jumping out. There we go. Knight of Swords. So yeah, still wanting to be this kind of knight in shining armor energy that I keep getting, Judite. I don't know how this is manifesting for you in if you are picking up on this yet. But the Knight of Swords, it's, if I remember rightly, I think it was a knight last time that we got, and it was someone who, I think it was the Knight of Wands then. But always with the knights, that they like to rush in. There's always this kind of rushing in energy to save the day, to, you know, be that hero, really. And there's something about you, something about this dynamic that brings that out in them. Look how vibrant this card is as well, how vibrant this energy is. The Knight of Swords is wanting to communicate as well, potentially bringing through some new information, some news, or they want to impart their knowledge to you. You know, they want to share what's on their mind. They want to share their knowledge with you. So it feels positive to me every read. I don't know if there's romantic feelings by nature, putting that out here, or if it's just platonic, there's still that kind of energy that they want to take you under their wing and bring you along with them in some way. So it feels positive, it feels good, and as long as it feels right to you, then I feel like just embrace it and enjoy it. And it's nice to have a manager who has your best interests at heart and is looking out for you. So enjoy that, like allow that to happen, Judite. Okay, I feel like they could be helpful in your life. So next up we have Veni, my love. If you are here, please go ahead and post your question. After Veni, we have Eco 7. If you want to be ready to post. You're welcome, Samreen, by the way, you're welcome. Yeah. I think that, Sam, just to go back to Samreen's, I feel like it's obviously easy if you're not going to be there to feel like that they'll move on. But I actually feel like that it'll intensify their thoughts around you and the energy around you and be a positive thing. Thanks, Eco7, for posting. I'm just waiting for Veni to post. I did see them earlier, so I think they are still in the chat. If you want to know where you are on the list, it's been posted in the chat. Just scroll back and see. I do regular updates. Thanks, Penny. So Penny asked for, so I'll read for Penny and then I'll read for Eco7 just so we know where we're at. And Penny asks, any good news or breakthrough coming in my life? Feeling stuck at one place. Okay, so let's see what Spirit can advise you about this. Feeling stuck. Spirit, Venny would like a breakthrough. Is feeling stuck. Please, can you bring them some advice? Page of Wands. This is nice energy, Venny. This is not, even though you may be feeling stuck, you may be feeling like you want a breakthrough. This time before that breakthrough comes, I will pull one more card for sort of see what comes next. But the Page of Wands is about a necessary time period of contemplation, okay? It's about getting really clear about what direction that we want to go in, okay? So Wands is about our passions. It's about what gets us fired up. It's about following our heart's desires and being more driven by our heart rather than just our head. So our head is about, which can, you know, there are times in life when we need to be strategic and use our mind, okay, and kind of do what's right for us and take the next logical step. Then there are times in life, which is what Spirit is bringing for you now, Venny, where we need to follow more to be less logical and to follow our passions and to follow our fire more, okay? And this will allow us to tap more into our joy and to feel more fulfilled. And this period of stillness or stuckness is not a waste of time. It's an important part of the journey. And it's about getting clear about what next step to take, Venny. So this can be in any area of your life that you feel drawn to, that maybe you feel stuck or lacking. If it's career, if it's studies, if it's love. It's about this period of assessment, the pages, where we take stock and we get really clear about where we want to go next, instead of just having constant action and movement without really lifting our heads up and thinking, you know, where are we going? Am I going in the direction that I actually want to? Somehow, like, taking control of your destiny more, Benny, comes through as well. And it's about, like I say, tapping into your heart's desires and your passions, as opposed to just doing what we think we should and following the ABCs and the status quo. Anything else, Spirit? I mean, it really has. Oh. And then we go into, this is so clear from Spirit, because this is the chronological order of these cards within the deck. So we go from the page, and then the Knight comes after the page, then we have the Queen, and then we have the King, yeah? And this is the Knight who can then move, once you've taken stock and you've got clear about where you are going. Here is your breakthrough, here is the movement, here is the opportunity and the change, where you can charge forward clearly and confidently and begin to make things happen. Again, this all feels a bit like taking control of your own destiny, Venny. The Knight of Wands and Wands energy in general, because it's ruled by the element of fire, is a very disruptive energy. It's about making change happen and not allowing life to just happen to you or waiting for opportunities to present themselves to you. It's about taking control, taking the reins, and creating your own movement, creating your own action, and really going for it. This is the card of do not hold back, but go out and make it happen. So, you know, if we are looking for a partner, go out there and date as many people as you can. If we're looking for a job that is fulfilling our heart's desires, our passions, apply for that job that you're scared that you might not get, but you might get it, you know. Apply for as many jobs that align with, you know, stir things up, create change, create movement, travel, whatever it is that brings you closer to your passions. So I hope that resonated, Venny. Hey, Shivangi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Just click the link if you want to be added to the list. Thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for joining the Seer Circle. So Eco 7, my love, this is for you. Eco 7 asks, so the committee replied and encouraged me to attend mediation over my official complaint, but I really don't want to. And I remember the cards last time were saying that you needed to do what you wanted to do. Can I be assertive about this? What happens next? Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say. So Eco 7, just give me a shout that you're here. I've got your question. I'm gonna, where is that? Look, I saw it flew out and I thought, should I take it, shouldn't I? But look at this, justice. A fair outcome. So this card as well, so it's a major arcana. And it almost has that kind of energy of, almost like the question that, with the committee and, having to attend mediation and that kind of almost it feeling like a court of law, this situation that you've found yourself in, Eco 7. What this card is about, okay, so it is about justice, and it is about and signifies a fair outcome for you and you getting justice. But it also talks about moving forward with integrity, okay, as well. And so what I would say is, with regards to this mediation, this opportunity, that's not the only way that you can get justice and that you can get a fair outcome, okay? Have you tried, I'm going to pull another card, but this is kind of who you need to be and how you need to show up in this situation. But it doesn't mean like compromising yourself or bending your own integrity, bending to their will. So have you explained in a clear, and like you say, the words assertive manner? You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be edgy. You can just very say like, I don't feel comfortable because of what's happened, being in the same room as this person. I don't know what's gone down between you, but being, directly communicating with her. And this doesn't sit right with me. I don't feel comfortable. If there's another way that we can, I'd like this to be dealt with in a different way. Like this seems very it seems kind of crazy to me that they would expect you to attend mediation with someone when, am I right that there was some kind of harassment here? So how should you move forward? But you need to stand strong in your belief and who you are and your integrity, Eco 7. And stand behind that and show up for yourself, yeah? Five of Wands. You said those exact words, emailed, and they replied insisting. So it's interesting because we have the Five of Wands, okay, and it is about, this is a card of conflict, disagreements, seeing things differently, trying to get on the same page. Now, with this card, though, the 5, comes the promise, Eco 7, that this will pass. So what I would take this card as is I would say to hold your ground, because they're trying to, in a way, bully you and push you in this direction. And I would say this will pass, this disagreement that you're having, like trying to resolve this, rubbing up against each other in the wrong way, and there being this conflict. I would go back just as a broken record and say, I understand what you're saying, but this is how I feel. This is the truth. I don't feel comfortable meeting. You're going to have to come up with a different solution. They can't push and bully you into, and the thing about being assertive is that I found as I've grown over the years and got older and become more assertive is that you will get pushback just because you manage to say things the right way and that you can be, stand strong in your point of view. People will still challenge you. And it's really just about calmly holding your ground. This is your energy, Eco 7, to move forward with, and you don't have to compromise your integrity. they'll still need to take action, take progress. They can't force you into this. And yes, you will get pushback, Five of Wands, but also the Five of Wands says no real damage will be done in this conflict. No wands are actually making contact and making any harm or hurting each other in a long-lasting way, and the Five of Wands will pass. So the energy will shift and we'll move into a different energy. You're very welcome, Eco. I can imagine how this would really rattle you, and it's very natural to feel insecure and shook by this. And it's also disappointing that they are not being respectful to you or hearing you when you're the victim in this situation, yeah? It's often the case, though, and the sad state is it's often the case that the victim blaming. Keep us posted. Cards say stand strong. Be a broken record. I hope that helps. So B, my love, thank you for posting. I appreciate that. Love and light, Eco 7. Stay strong. Keep us posted. So B asks, what am I doing right at the moment on a spiritual, emotional level or any other level other than career finances? Okay, looking for some positivity today. Yes, I like the style of the question. Tell me the good, Spirit. That's what we're asking, isn't it? It's great. What am I actually doing right? So often than not, we look to what we're doing wrong, don't we? Let's check in. Love this question. So Spirit, B asks, what is B doing right, Spirit? What should she do more of? Oh, 1 second, my battery's not, I forgot to plug myself in. Plug your laptop in, that's one thing that you can do right for me. Okay, B, this is for you. Oh, Danny baby, hey my love. I'm so glad that you made it. Hopefully you can stick around to get a reading. Okay, Spirit, so what is B doing right? And what can they be doing? What should they continue to do and do more of? All that good stuff. Page of Pentacles. Okay, nice energy. Very genuine energy. This is earth energy, B. What it says is with the Page of Pentacles, again, whenever we see a page, okay, it says that it's a period in our lives where we are in some kind of reflection. So it suggests that you've already began this process, that you're already doing that, okay, because Spirit wants you to do more of this. We're looking at a situation. It can be whatever really be is your focus at the moment. I know you say that career and finances is not, that's not where your focus is at the minute. So maybe it's your spiritual growth, maybe it's a romantic relationship, you know, it can be a million and other one things, but what really is kind of on your mind, on your heart at the moment, and is a kind of top priority, yeah? I always see it's kind of like a list that we have going on, where at different periods of our life, like we've got what's kind of at the top of the list at the minute, and where our mind wanders to in our spare time. And the page is about a period of where we're assessing, where we're really asking ourselves deep questions and reflecting about what's working and what isn't. And the Page of Pentacles also has a real patience about it as well, that you're not rushing the situation, you are taking your time. And because, you know, in life we are very encouraged in this society to always be in action mode and always move. And we can often just be spinning our wheels when we're in that energy, okay, where we're just moving for moving's sake. And almost if we're really busy, then we feel like we're getting loads done and blah, 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 where you could actually be just wasting a lot of energy, where we can be very calm. We can actually conserve and preserve our energy and then make the moves strategically and in the right way, just when it's needed, okay? We just need to make a little move here, a decision there. And that's the kind of energy that this card is all about. It's patience, it has a calmness, it has a stillness, it has a reflective energy. So if you ever kind of feel shift out of that and feel maybe anxious that you're not doing enough, or that you should get busy, or, you know, some kind of change needs to happen, there's this slower pace is like the quickest way to get to where you want to go. It's almost like that story, the fable of the tortoise and the hare, that the hare's going really fast, but the tortoise actually gets there sooner in the end. So this is what you're doing right. This is what you need to keep doing more of, embodying this calm, patient, reflective energy, making strategic moves, bringing a very realistic energy as well. Earth energy, Pentacles energy is very realistic, is not delusional, is kind of, is very like gets real about a situation. So I hope that resonates. Lean into the calm, lean into the slowness, really. It will get you, ironically, it will get you to where you want to go quicker and see the results quicker. I hope that resonated, B. Next up we have Anne, or Annie. And then we have Kitty Cat Meow. Oh, actually, I'm just going to close the list now because it is filling up, and then I'll post it again so everyone knows where they are. B says, great, that's very true. I sometimes feel like nothing is happening, yeah, but I'm being patient rather than forcing anything. Keep getting told slow and steady wins the race. Well, I'm really glad that that confirmed, you know, where you're hearing that message elsewhere as well. Slow and steady wins the way. Can't speak. Slow and steady wins the race. Exactly. Right, I'm just gonna close the list now. Ah, yes, that Virgo energy. Virgo's hashtag Team Virgo B. Have a great day. Right, 1 second, guys, and I'll just post the list. Hey Anne, thank you for posting. I'll just post the updated list and then we will I will read for you. Okay, so Anne asks, hi, Brendan and I have been in contact. We used to be friends, but then he learned that I like him and then kept me at a distance, okay, but that hasn't changed for 1.5 years now. Will this ever change and will we get closer? Okay, thank you for that context. I love the context. Let me see if I can get this lighted. Okay, let's have a look at the energy between you and Brandon. Ooh, The Sun, the happiest card in the deck. Major Arcana. Let me see, pull another card. So, Rithika, there is a list. Please don't post your question until your name is called. Hold your question until your name is called. You are on the list. Look at these cards jumping out for you, Anne. So this is him, Knight of Pentacles. Clarify the Sun, please, Spirit. What I am hearing, Anne, is that Spirit is saying that they want you to follow your joy and your happiness, okay? And if someone who, you know, if you've shared your feelings, even if they didn't feel the same, but for them to distance themselves because of that, and then for such a long time, you know, 1.5 years, that's really quite hurtful. That's very rejecting. I don't know if they shared their reasons for this, or did they just, you know, back off. You know, it's very kind of, it's quite a negative response, isn't it, to someone just sharing their feelings. So I think that's why the Sun has said, first and foremost, it sounds simple, but it's kind of like, you know, it's also the truth that, you know, does this person bring you closer to your joy, to your happiness, you know, or why are we still holding on to this person who has kind of rejected us in this quite painful way? Their energy is very slow moving, though, is Knight of Pentacles energy, okay? The Knight of Pentacles is very hesitant at times, like their shadow side is that they can be quite stagnant energy. It can be quite stuck. They can be someone who is, where I think it kind of stems from, is that someone who's quite stuck in their ways energy, okay? Night energy can also, in this kind of reading and in this, that there's a shadow energy around them, is that there's an immaturity as well here, Anne. You know, about how they handle this. There's no shame or anything wrong with the fact that their feelings weren't reciprocated to you, but they didn't handle it good, yeah? They didn't handle it well. And their whole vibe and their whole energy feels quite stuck in general. They're not someone who is who is prepared to take a risk, or is open for kind of change. That's what I feel like. There's, for someone maybe who is quite young, obviously I don't know the ages of that, but something, I don't know if that's just me picking up on their sort of immaturity as well. There's kind of almost a childishness here. Thanks for confirming. Anne says, yes, that's so true. He is like that, very stuck in his ways. Yeah, very rigid and immature. And that is that's come through very strong. So I feel like that this, you being maybe open and honest and sharing their feelings, just like they kind of lack some courage really, Anne. And they are someone who, you know, they kind of lack a bit of guts and lack a bit of gall, and they are just, I don't really feel like this is someone who, I know it's like we like who we like, but I feel like they have a very heavy energy around them, and Spirit has come through to say, you know, I don't know when you last had contact, if it was a year and a half ago, but they're still there. They're still where you left them. And I feel like that you need more. You know, this is your happiness. This is your joy. You know, this person, you know, someone in a relationship, you know, it's about having fun, isn't it? It's about escaping the drudgery of reality. And this person energy just feels too heavy, and they're stuck in their ways. They're not going to take a risk. And that's where they still are. And I don't think this is someone who would be good to have in your energy field, really. I would look to other potentials, other possibilities, and try to release this person. Like, you're not missing out, okay? You're not missing out, Anne, on not being close to this person. So I hope that resonated. I hope that was obviously free will. You know, if we want to continue, you know, we can't also change our heart, but this is Spirit's comment on that person. Anne says, yeah, that's true. It does weigh me down when I try to fix things with him. Yeah, it's not your responsibility, Anne. And there's something, that issue goes deeper with them and wider on that, on their heaviness and their stuckness. You know, we want someone with movement, with enthusiasm, who's going to lift us up, not bring us down. I'm glad that helped, Anne. Thank you for being here. Okay, next up, my love, we have Kitty Cat Meow and Tia Beer, my dear, if you are here. That rhymes. Tia Beer, my dear, if you are here. But yeah, Kitty Cat Meow, also, please go ahead, both go ahead and post your question. Thanks, Kitty Cat and Tia. Awesome. Thank you both. So Kitty asks, what is the energy surrounding my finances in the immediate future? Interesting. Will I be less stressed over finances soon? Spirit, please bring us some insight and clarity for Kitty regarding finances. Oh, there we go. King of Wands. Oh, well, yes. You're going to be all right, Kitty, with this. Ace of Pentacles. This King of Wands, okay, so I just wanted to confirm with this clarifying card. I feel like, I don't know what work that you do, or, you know, what situation of where finances come from, revenue streams, etc. But I feel like this King of Wands is a person who is going to help you in this area. King of Wands is someone who can be a boss, a leader. They're very charismatic, dynamic individual who is able to get people on board and get people to buy into whatever they're selling, okay? And because they have this very infectious enthusiasm and charisma. And this person, so I don't know where they're going to come from. If you know who this person is, you may recognize this person's energy and know who they are, or it can be someone new coming into your energy field in the near future. But this is Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is about money. You know, it's the element of earth. So obviously in a finance reading, it's always good to see Pentacles because it's kind of direct confirmation from Spirit about money coming through and money coming in. It's all about, Pentacles are all about the 3D world, the material world, and how we interact with it and the progress that we see. And the Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings, potential, new revenue streams, or within where you make money now, something opening up to you. So, like I say, I don't know how you work or where your revenue streams can come from and how maybe you're looking to bring in finances in the immediate future. If there's other jobs, if you apply for them. But here is an opportunity that has potential to go the distance as well, because we start from the ace and it's kind of like the sky's the limit when we start with the ace. Here is an opportunity. Here is money, essentially a financial opportunity being presented to you. And it's connected to this King of Wands. So this King of Wands can be behind this opportunity. Both very positive cards, both great to see in regards to your question. So I hope that resonated. Like I say, you might know who that King of Wands is, or it could be someone new, an unexpected person who comes through with an opportunity. Keep us posted, yeah? So Tia Beer, my love, thank you for posting. You're very welcome, Kitty Cat. So Tia asks, hello, just wanted an energy check-in or what's next for me in the Pisces. It seems there was a slight disconnect, okay, last week after our minor disagreement. However, he's come around putting an effort, okay. Next up after Tia Beer, we have Nat, my love, and then Divine Timing. If you want to be ready, guys, to post your question. So Tia, let's check in and see what's going on with your Pisces. Energy check-in. What's next for you in the Pisces specifically, okay? What's coming next? Interesting. Five of Pentacles. Oh, God, sorry. Are either of you struggling like outside of this connection, like financially or a living situation or job? Because the Five of Pentacles is something, a situation that doesn't feel in relation to this connection, because I feel like this is both your energy here. And it's like you're going through something together, but it's a kind of a difficult, a challenging time. Yeah. But it has that feeling of in it together, Tia. So I don't know if you're aware of that struggle already. You're struggling a little, okay. So the positive thing, I'm going to pull another clarifying card as well, is that in some ways these adversities will bring you closer together, that you can be a support system for each other. One more, please, Spirit. Yeah, because we have this King of Swords, which is about needing to... Okay. King of Swords energy is like tough decisions. It's a bit like that kind of energy of like a situation kind of gets very real. So this could be something new coming in that maybe that you're not aware of. Some kind of adversity that has the potential, though, ultimately for you to bring you closer and to be each other's support network. This could be an outside energy that is bringing in this, like this King of Swords. It came through that this could be someone who is kind of causing problems and causing adversity. This King of Swords, the shadow energy is that this can be quite a harsh character. But we're having to be tough in this situation, make some tough decisions. It's like things are kind of going to get real for you, Tia. But in regards to the relationship, it will ultimately bring you closer together. Because, yeah, we have the Empress here, which is about almost like emerging with this Empress energy with this. The Empress flies in the face of these cards in the sense of that it's very abundant and it's a very like being able to blossom. And that you are merging in your Empress energy, feeling loved, feeling supported, feeling nurtured through a difficult process where maybe in the past you felt, very abandoned, like when the going gets tough, it's like your partner, where are they? Can't be seen, that kind of energy. So remember that when things, it could be on a small level, it could get deeper, but there's something about, how it's going to get real. That's what I feel like. Something externally, not between you two, but life events are going to be challenging in some ways. This King of Swords could be someone who tries to cause problems in one or both of your lives, and we need to support each other through it, which I think that you will, and emerge as in your Empress energy, feeling loved, feeling nurtured. Interesting. I want to know what this is. Keep us posted, Tia. I hope that resonated. Maybe it was something that's going on for your Pisces that they haven't shared yet. That could be the case. Keep us posted, Tia. I hope that resonated. Nat. Thank you for posting. And Divine Timing, I see you as well. So I read for Nat, then Divine Timing, so everyone knows where we're at. Please refer to the list if you want to know where you are. Nat asks, I had a recent convo with David, interesting, yesterday, and basically told him I'll be keeping a distance going forward. Interesting. What are his thoughts, energy about this? Wasn't like an ugly ending, no, he just said he understands. Interesting. Let's see how this impacted him, Nat. See how this made him feel about this. Oh, look at that, jumping out. A loss, some sadness. Wish like this came through for Tia Bia, but it's something that's, so it's different, obviously, the message specifically to you here, Nat, but this is how it would left them feeling. 5 of Pentacles is a state of lack, of loss, of difficulty, of sadness. I think that, in the past a lot, what has come through that maybe they thought that you would always be there. Two people kind of, I feel like that you're someone who, when things get difficult for him, that he will reach out to you, that he will maybe make more contact then, and then maybe life gets easier for him, and then he kind of goes about his life more and the connection gets more distant. Let me know if that resonates. But basically, through you doing this, it has put him in some state of lack and loss for sure. Gonna ask one more. I feel like that was a bold move from you, Nat, which was the right thing to do. I hope you still feel like that. If it, only you know, but cutting loose some ties. I mean, I know you haven't cut him out fully, but you've told him clearly that you're keeping distance. And I know we've talked about walking away from things that were unfulfilling, yeah. So I think this Three of Cups, oh, you talk to almost every day, wow, because of his condition. And I will stay there, but with boundaries, yeah. Because he's in another connection, isn't he, Nat? Tell me if I'm right on that. Because we have the Three of Cups where it's like, this is a three-party situation in many ways, yeah? And that isn't, so they can never fully commit to you, and things can't change for as long as that status quo, for as long as this Three of Cups, three-party situation continues. So you have distanced yourself from that. Boundaries, like you say, that's like the mature way to do it, isn't it? There doesn't have to be drama. There doesn't have to be chaos. We can just tell people honestly what's going on and what we're going to do. I always remember with a Virgo, they say, like, Virgos are very giving, yeah. Like Virgo is a service card that we, our sort of love language is in giving and often taking care of people. But when that is pushed, or when we are, disrespected, or that we're just done with that, done with a situation where we're not getting back what we're getting put in, we have the precision of a surgeon's knife of cutting someone loose in a way, or cutting ties with someone, even if we are not completely shutting them out of our lives, that you can cut ties with someone and there's not much going back once a Virgo does that to you. So well done, Nat. Well done. They're in their David is in their sadness, in their loss, as they should be, because they shouldn't have tried to hold out ultimately this three-party situation. It was never gonna last the distance unless he made a decision either way, and ultimately I guess you've had to make the decision. So I hope that resonated. Disappointed as he should be. I'm sure he'll be back with something to say to you, Nat, to try and pull you back in. Divine timing, my love, this is for you. Give me a shout that you're here. I'm just going back to find your question. Here we are. What do I need to hear most today? Yes, Virgo. Virgo to Virgo. I'm glad that resonated, Nat. Once we're done, we're done. You won't see us for dust. But we'll do it politely. So, divine timing, my love, this is for you. Next up after divine timing, we have country. And then we have Joanna. If you are still here, please do be ready to post your question. Yes, exactly. He needs to transform first. Needs to get himself, make some clear decisions. Okay, divine timing, my love, this is for you. What do you need to hear most today? Spirit, what does divine timing most, can't speak, what do they need to hear today? Nine of Pentacles. The card about independence, divine timing. Few messages here. The Nine of Pentacles, okay, knows their worth. They are self-sufficient in many ways, okay? So you may already be on this track, and Spirit is saying, keep doing what you're doing. You are this strong, independent person who has worked hard to get here for sure and be in this place. It's all about working. This Nine of Pentacles energy, okay, this person is in a good position. It can also be about focusing on, tell you what resonates here on a practical level, about working towards financial independence. Or creating, if it's not, it doesn't have to literally be money. I don't know what your situation is in that way, but it's about your own identity, holding on to that, carving out something for yourself. If, say, for example, if you're a full-time mum, this just resonates for some people. If you're a full-time mum, but you still had this desire in a way, you might not, but still had a desire maybe to pursue some kind of path where you had your own business, you had your own work, you even not even to make money, but if you were like just being creative or had an identity outside of, say, maybe being mum and wife. That's just one example. It might not resonate with you, divine timing. I don't know about your full situation. Or this could be something that you are already here and you're already pursuing. And what comes after the Nine of Pentacles is the 10, which is almost like the pinnacle of success in this area. So it's saying that you're on the right track. So take what resonates with that. But that is the message for you today, to focus on your independence in some way and your pursuits that just relate to you, that aren't about helping others or being a certain person for someone else, but it's about really just what you want, filling your own cup in many ways. But because it's Pentacles, it's like practical, so it's not just like emotionally filling our own cup. It's about literally in the material world and the 3D, the here and now, carving out some kind of independence. Divine timing says, yes, I've been doing a lot of changing and healing. So you're on that track then, divine timing. And Spirit is congratulating you on that. And I feel like as well saying, like, you know, really go for it. Like push the boundaries of like where you can go with this. Because I feel like that whatever you are carving out, whatever stage you're at in carving this out, there is some kind of financial potential, financial reward. Just because it's come through so strong, this kind of Pentacles energy. So I hope that resonates, okay? Okay, so next up we have country. We have Joanna. Are you here, my dears? Rithika, Anshuman. Just let me know who's here still. Oh, hey, country, my love. Thank you for posting. So country asks, what is the current energy for DJ and I? He's my Libra love interest. I remember him well, country. I think he struggles to verbally express himself. A bit annoying, but I still somehow want a future for us. Okay. You're welcome, Divine Timing. Yes, working on building a stable career. A lot of potential for success, Divine Timing. I see on the cards for you, so keep going. Okay, so let's have a look at the energy between you and DJ, country. I felt like it was going to be good, and it is good, country, okay? 10 of Pentacles. It's interesting that you use the words that somehow you still want a future for us. And the 10 of Pentacles is, I feel like, is bringing in to say that there is potential for a future for you, because 10 of Pentacles is about longevity and it's about commitment. And the energy between you two is 10 of Pentacles energy. And that 10 of Pentacles to me is about that kind of ideal that we hold in our mind of where we're kind of working to. So everyone's ideal can look different, you know. In a traditional way it can be like marriage, kids, you know, but we can all be at different stages in our life. You might not want children, you might not want to get married, but it's like what the ideal situation looks like. And some kind of it's a card of stability and it's a card of success. And I'm going to pull one more card because I'm nosy, but I mean, it is very abundant, this card, country, and I feel like the main message within it is that commitment and longevity is possible here. Maybe that's what you're feeling, yeah? That despite the challenges, there's still a lot of good here, yeah? So what can country do, maybe, you know, about this that he struggles to express himself, or the difficulties that you're experiencing? Any maybe blocks to this 10 of Pentacles or shadow of doubt that's cast here, yeah? Seven of Wands, we just need to hold our boundaries. So kind of keep, like, don't let things slide, if that makes sense, country. Like, still have your demands and still continue to speak out on what you need and what you want, yeah? Seven of Wands is very much, to me, can be a card about digging your heels in some ways and saying, you know, this is what I need and this is my boundary. And it doesn't mean that someone's, you know, and if they're going to last the distance, then they won't be scared off by that. They haven't been so far. We see this Ten of Pentacles for the potential of the long distance. And I feel like it's just you saying almost like a kind of, I don't know why this comes to mind, because I feel like this kind of goes against your nature a bit, country, but laying the law down. Maybe just being vocal about what you need and what you want and direct. Because there is a lot of love here with the Queen of Cups. There is this love, this romance. Maybe you're someone as well who likes to go with the flow. You know, you're a very strong character, but also not someone like you're like a very reasonable person, okay? You're not someone who would set out to be confrontational necessarily or challenging, if that resonates, okay? Like you're a lover, not a hater, yeah? But we do need to speak up and speak out. One last card on DJ's energy. I feel drawn to pull on where he's at. Lovely. World card. Major Arcana. This is important to him. Country says, I can lay the law down. I feel mean after, but you can lay the law down. Okay. Cool. Yes. You've got that in you. You've got that ability. The World card tells me as well that I feel like DJ, there is like something cyclical about his energy maybe as well, about that maybe he goes through times when he withdraws more, and then there's times when he's more at peace and more open and more loving. And maybe that's just something about him that's unusual, maybe not the way that I would normally interpret the World card, but that's the message that has come through. There's something about his energy that almost that he's always been like this, that someone who I don't want to use the word moody, but is kind of like goes through these periods of being a certain way, and then there's not really in some ways rhyme and reason, and then it's a bit mysterious in some ways. It's just something about him, and then he just comes out of it, and then he's like maybe easier to be around, and he's just more open and he's more at peace, and then he gets in these funks. Country says yes, he does that. So up and down, yeah, in and out, and there is something about him that is maybe that's just his nature. And I suppose can you get comfortable with that? I don't know. You can, I suppose Spirit is saying that there's something about challenging that a bit. You know, even if he gets down, like if he does struggle, maybe even with his mental health and gets down, he still needs to show up for you and show up for this relationship, yeah? And maybe he needs to be told that clearly, more than once. So I hope that resonated. The weather here is crazy. There's like a storm happening, but it's mainly just really windy where I am now. But if you can, I don't know if you can hear that. It's very intense. Hope that resonated, country. So Joanna, I'm not sure if Joanna is still here. We have Joanna. I'll post the last list just so we know. Right, that's been the challenge, says country, yeah. But you know, that main card, Ten of Pentacles, I feel like Spirit is still encouraging you despite the difficulties. Those cards weren't saying, you know, get out or leave that. They were saying there's stuff to work here with. There are issues to work through, but it is possible to do that. And there is potential for longevity, long-term commitment, all that good stuff. Let me know who is still here. Just post your question in the chat. Always gets like this towards the end that a few people kind of. So I don't do general reading, Joanna. If you want to, I find it more meaningful if you pick a specific area of what's kind of on your heart, on your mind at the moment. Career, money, love, spiritual growth, particular situation or a person that you're dealing with, that kind of stuff, yeah? Hey Anshman, go ahead and post, my dear. I'll just wait for Joanna to update a question and then I'll read for you, Anshuman. Rafika, Shivanji, Kiki, Danny Baby. Post if you are here, my dears. So I am Amaya. I have exam on August the 24th. So I don't do yes, no questions, Rafika. I don't do yes, no or timelines. So whilst I'm waiting for Joanna to update a question and Rafika, I'll read for Anshuman who asks, how can I manifest Zoya, the Pisces, into my life as my life partner? The energy is very confusing with her. So, I mean, manifestation techniques, how do you manifest? So that's still general, Joanna. So focus your question for enable for me to read for you. Manifestation, Anshuman. So pick your practice with manifestation, okay? There's so many videos on YouTube. I have videos on my channel about manifestation. It's about visualization, meditation, journaling, all of the above. There are so many manifestation techniques, yeah, that we can do. But let's see what the cards say. But that's what I would advise you to do if you're wanting to manifest a situation, an ideal relationship with Zoya. Then the quickest way to make that happen is to develop a daily practice. Here we go, Page of Cups. So Page of Cups as well, this is a card of love, of romance. That's what cups are all about as well, yeah? And a page as well is about, like I've spoken about in this session today for other people with the page, is the Page of Cards is about being strategic, Ansaman, okay? It's about making a plan. And that's what I feel like with Zoya, time and time again, in a way, like what's come up for you, Anshuman, is this kind of need almost to be patient and to be strategic. So if you're getting confusing messages from her, try not to be dragged into the roller coaster of the ups and downs. And you need to try and get your emotions straight and your emotions centered. All that you can do is let your emotions and feelings for her be clear to her, communicate that to her. But also we need to give her space. Like, here is you making your love offering to her. And as long as you've done your part and made that clear about your feelings and that you're going towards this in a genuine way, a way with integrity, with truth, with honesty, But the cups is also ruled by the element of water. So it's about needing to also bring in a sense of flow and patience and not forcing this situation, Anshuman. Okay? And like I said, the way to be strategic and a way to plan, even in the matters of love, is often with, say, a manifestation practice. And that gives us a sense of discipline. It gives us a sense of control as well. Just putting aside 15 minutes every day into this practice can move mountains, can shift things very quickly, but also give us a sense of control if you're feeling confused and out of control. So work on your mental diet. I hope that resonated, Anshuman. So I don't do yes, no questions, Rafika. So please, if you want me to read for you, rephrase your question. So I'll read for Joanna, who is asking, what does Spirit want me to know right now? So a message from your spiritual guides, Joanna. What advice, what guidance, what do they want to tell you? Oh, look at that card. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is about, first of all, it tells me that there's an opportunity that is coming towards you. You may be aware of it already, or it may be coming to you in the near future, Joanna. Because Ace is about new beginnings and fresh starts, yeah? And also, Wands, this is ruled by the element of fire. So it's about things that are connected to our heart's desires and passions. So that's what this opportunity is in relation to, okay? Now it could be in any area. I don't know your romantic situation. If you were single looking for romance, it could be, for instance, meeting someone where there's a spark and a strong attraction. If you are looking for in career, maybe that you are looking for a job or work, an opportunity that is fulfilling in this, something that gets you fired up, something that you are passionate about. And the Ace is, I'm just going to blow out these candles because my cat's decided to jump up. But this is really positive energy. Can you see how it's quite explosive as well? So it's like sudden movement, sudden change, an opportunity that will usher in fresh energy, new energy. And it holds a lot of potential as well, because the Ace is just the beginning, just the start. And it's about action as well. Wands is all about action, movement, disruption of the norm. So if you felt stuck or things have been plodding along and you've needed some kind of excitement in your life, then here it is. This is it. So I hope that resonated. So Shivanji asks, hey Seer, what is coming towards me in my love life? I'm currently going through a breakup and I'm feeling really lost and confused. I'm sorry to hear that, Shivanji. Let me see what Spirit has to say. Thank you for the detail. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay, so what does Spirit have to say, Shivanji, for what's happening next in your love life, taking into this breakup into account, yeah? Okay. Nine of Cups. I'm going to pull another card to see what comes next, but it feels very important now with this Nine of Cups to take care of yourself, Shivanji, okay? The Nine of Cups is about self-care, and it's about filling your own cup and trying to regain some kind of balance. Okay, because I know you felt lost and confused, which is understandable. And Nine of Cups is all about, in this context, is about a healing period. Okay, you're still healing and you still need to be gentle with yourself. Maybe you're trying to push yourself to get over this. Maybe you're trying to push yourself too soon to get back out there and maybe either get over it or meet someone new, or that desire, you know, to kind of just, which is natural, but to kind of just cut loose and want to move on in some way. But the Nine of Cups is a very, very gentle energy, a very loving energy, and it's about slowing down, and it's about doing small things, you know, even just one small thing every day that is just something that is kind for ourselves. Yeah. If that's doing some yoga, if that's having some nice food, if that's being able to speak to a loved one, a trusted and loved one, about being in pain and letting the emotions out and crying. It's all about being gentle with ourselves. Meditating, if you feel strong enough to do that. Manifestation practice can give you a sense of control, Shivanji, as well. I don't know if you have worked with manifestation before, but that's a big thing here on this channel, and something that I recommend to all the viewers to explore, looking into developing a manifestation practice, meditation, visualization, journaling, to give you a sense of strength, give you a sense of control, and lift you out of that negative space. Oh my goodness. And then here we go, we have a love offering coming through for you, Shivanji, a Knight of Cups, which is, so could be two things here. Tell you what resonates. Could be, look how bright it is. Sorry, it's already gone super bright here. It's just the sun's decided to shine. So I hope you can see this okay. It's not focusing so well. But anyway, Knight of Cups is straight up, it's a love offering. This could be, depends how you feel about your ex. If you want reconciliation, it could be that they come back round with offering this relationship reconciliation. But if you feel like, no, that is done, the right thing for that is to be over, then this can be a new person. But when you say what is on the horizon next in love for you after this healing period, which is the best thing that you can do right now to get yourself in a good place, because love really is actually just around the corner for you. So I feel like Spirit is kind of saying, you know, really focus on your healing, because you're going to have to get ready, because another love opportunity is coming through. You will know, Shivanji, how do I recognize this person? You won't be able to miss it. When it's the Knight of Cups, you will just, they will present a love opportunity to you. They will let you know, so you won't need to recognize them. They'll just offer, they'll come through with a love offering. So you won't need to guess. Okay. So, I think that was everyone. I'm going to end the live there. I will be live again this week, so I think I'm going to go, I always go live on Friday. I'm going to try and squeeze in an extra live session as well, probably Thursday. If you want to join us then, please do. You're so welcome, Shivanji. I'm glad that you feel better. That's why we have these sessions, so I'm glad that that brought you some peace. Like I say, I'll confirm the time on Wednesday of when I go live on Thursday. So again, just bring your questions and receive a free reading. But wishing you all love and light for all the rest of the day, rest of the evening, wherever you are. Take care.